If you hear any background noise that is happening from outside of my dad's home, I sincerely apologize. I feel like they're throwing an event there. So, so yeah, if you hear any noises there, I apologize. I have no control over it, and plus this hinders my ability in having to think critically about my given topic. So please bear with me here. I want to talk about my first time college experiences because as an autistic, uh, and I know that having to attend college is one of the most stressing experiences that I have ever been in terms of having to keep up with the lectures, in terms of having to grasp in the material, having to do your homework or your essay or your final. Um, I feel that this is like a big step towards like my educational path. A lot more big steps than what I'm used to in high school because like graduating high school in 2020 was like so much more different because obviously the pandemic has happened around that, and like if you were sick you had to be quarantined, and then if you want to attend in person you got to distance yourself so as to not catch a cold from everybody else. So all these related things that may happen during the pandemic there. So yeah, my high school graduation experience wasn't really the best because like it wasn't that big. It wasn't really that special to me. It was kind of feeling like special to me because I have achieved a lot more greater things in my own life, um, in terms of having to experience having to communicate with my peers, with my teachers, and with other people that are working within the high school there. So, so yeah, high school graduation wasn't really big, for sure due to the pandemic. But like after high school, I immediately went to college. Not going to college in person, but like having to be situated in an online learning experience. I However, I do miss having to attend classes in person because it really was like a way for me to communicate with my professor one on one in person than having to wait for a response and then having to communicate with other peers via email. So, so yeah, it really like probably like diminishes away from like my online learning experience. But I'm pretty sure that I will be able to handle that independently. Um, but I feel like I would now that I think of it, like I feel like I want to be more of like an online learner than having to be in person, because like after many experiences of having to like attend college online, I feel that online learning has been great for me in my opinion. And I'm not sure about you guys, but you may think otherwise as to like in-person classes being much more better. Um, I feel like some classes don't even have like an online learning experience. You're gonna have to like attend in person for that. If there's like a course that you like that, and then like the meeting has to be like in person, like there's no reason for you to not do online. You have to be like in person, which is actually a very hard experience coming from an autistic. And plus, like, and throughout my first time having to be in college, it is like a lot of work compared to like high school. It is a lot more complex work, especially with the amount of classes that I have added as a full-time student. It is gonna be a really difficult challenge for me to keep up with deadlines or due dates, and then having to ask my professor for assistance on any of the assignments that were given, as well as the lectures that my professor has given out to me. So yeah, I have been in asynchronous classes before, so meaning like without scheduled meetings, without any of that. I feel that this is much more easier for me to be able to manage my time more responsibly as an independent person, and also having to manage a lot of my homework, having to utilize the time to really study and get a grasp of the material through the modules throughout the textbook. They are very helpful resources for me in my experience, but I feel that if you have access to tutoring services, they can be more helpful with that. But from my experience, I feel that having to understand through the text and also through the learning material in the modules is it would be my way would be a good way. It also serves me as a great benefit into having to learn the given material. And I do also have access to special services, which I am very happy about, because I again, I am autistic, and sometimes I may need access to special services in college. So I really am grateful for my own college to be able to access a lot of special services. I think the accommodations that I have in college are extra time on tests, also having to utilize special notes, or having to record lectures with the permission of a professor, because you don't want to really record like lectures without the professor's permission. So I never really utilized this accommodation, but it is really it's going to be really helpful for me, at least, to really understand the material through the recorded lectures there. And I do also have access to assisted reading, or like text-to-speech reading. So like anytime that I feel lost in a certain text in the textbook, I do have access to that as well. So I would say like my most used accommodations when it comes to the to the college providing me special services as an autistic would be the extra time because 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 having to need extra time is a complete lifesaver for me because I think too much on a given question. I think too much of having to go back through the nose and through the textbook, even if it's like a open-ended quiz. Um, I feel like having to add extra time on top of the given time for the students is is completely a lifesaver. Like if I have never asked for that accommodation, I would be like in big trouble. Uh, I I would literally like crash out if I ever ran out of time for like a quiz or like an exam. Um, I would literally crash out and cry because like I didn't finish on time and I would need like a lot more extra time into really thinking about like my the materials that I have in front of me. So yeah, overall, I'm very happy with the special services the college has given to me. Um, but also having to navigate through the online learning experience can be somewhat difficult. So I am getting used to that. I am getting used to this online learning experience. And as I've grown up throughout the years of online learning, I felt more comfortable in it. I felt a lot more comfortable in my own skin, saying that, oh, I am very much confident in having to be in this online learning experience, and I feel that online learning has changed the way that I interact with my professors or even with my peers. Um, you know, now that I really think about it, I would say that I would prefer having to be in an online learning experience than having to attend in person because having to attend in person, um, I don't have I don't really have the same learning pace as every other student does. And so like with online learning, I get to learn it throughout my own time. Like I don't really have like I don't have to worry about having to keep up the pace with in-person classes. Like honestly, I wouldn't be able to really keep up with the learning experiences with other students. And so learning, having to be in an online class really helps me in a way where I don't feel rushed. I don't feel that I am being pressured into learning. And so yeah, like I feel that I am not really forced into a lot of the material that they give to me every single week. So or having to complete assignments orally rather than having to complete them online and having to complete it at home. So yeah, I feel that I have talked a lot about my first time college experiences. Um, but yeah, It's just mainly like my online learning experience. It wasn't really that great for me, having to attend college for the first time, having to arrange my schedule to really work things out for me in this online class that I am in. So yeah. And since I'm in the last 8 weeks of having to be in this college, I hope to succeed well. I hope to really succeed well. Having to attend my 3 classes while also having to be out of the country. And later on next month, I'll be back in the U.S. finally, because like I want to be able to really graduate in person in my own college, and I will definitely update you on when that happens. I will definitely make a commentary and possibly a vlog on it. I'll possibly do a vlog on it instead of a commentary for my college graduation. So yeah, I will keep you guys updated on that. But otherwise, that will be it for this week's commentary. Next week is going to be about imperfection. I wanted to start on imperfection this week, but since my computer is always on low battery, and I don't even have the time to really jot down the notes of what I'm going to say for my imperfection commentary. I want to move it down to next week. I'm gonna target next week to talk about imperfection, and this is going to be a video inspired by another TikTok creator, but also a motivational video for someone special. And I'm pretty sure you guys know who that is. It starts with an M, so that's what I'm going to say there. So yeah, if you have any insight, if you have any questions, if you want to add on to what I've said in this week's commentary, I love it if you can share that down below. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you are new to this channel, if you really like these types of commentaries, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. See ya.